Hello guys, how are you? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Kama kawaida, I'm your girl Ngedi Mudhoni, and I'm so much thankful to you guys who have been coming out to subscribe to my channel and also to watch my videos. I'm so much humbled. I'm so much delighted. In case you are a new member or in case you're a new viewer, kindly ensure that you subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can get update of every time I post a new video. So guys, in today's video, I want us to share my experience or your experience with labor and delivery. And as we share our experiences, I want us to answer some of the key questions that came in handy for me or I came across that I think they are relevant for someone who may be almost there or someone who may even be planning to get pregnant and walk down the journey. So the first thing is, what are some of the key important things that you should do once you discover that you're pregnant? And the second thing is, did you experience pre-delivery anxiety? What triggered it and how did you deal with it? The third thing, do you think, and I quote because this is something that I just heard from people, do you think that private hospitals usually run for CS with an aim of making money compared to public hospital? The other thing is, how do you rate a maternity hospital? What are some of the things that you look into to consider a maternity hospital? And the last question is, which maternity hospital did you go to, and can you recommend someone to go to the hospital, and how was your experience in that hospital? So guys, giving life is such an amazing job. Of course, it's not an easy one, but such an amazing job because that was what we as women, we were created to do. And God commanded man, go and fill the earth. So giving life is such a mandate that we have to fulfill. But it's not that easy, especially with the curse that you shall bear pain when giving birth. Do you know, I experienced so much pain during my labor, up to a point where I started questioning Adam and Eve, why did you sin? Why did you have to do this? You need to That's the story of another day. So guys, karibuni sana to my YouTube channel and let's talk. So, what are some of the things that you should do when you discover that you're pregnant? There are so many things that you should do, but I'm going to mention just one, which I consider very important, and that is taking a cover. Either take NHIF, take Linda Mama, or any other cover that you come across and you think it is important. You think or you see that it is important. This is because they really come in handy, especially when you come to deliver, because you may be planning to do a normal delivery, but you get some complication, God forbid, and you have to go for CS, and somehow it's very expensive. So these covers come very much in handy when you go to deliver. So ensure that in case you're pregnant, in case you're planning to get pregnant, in case you just discovered you're pregnant, go and take that cover. It really comes in handy. So the other thing is experiencing pre-delivery anxiety. So guys, the week I delivered was not an easy week for me. It was one of the craziest, actually the most scariest week of my life. I was terribly scared. I remember I used to wake up at nikilala, nilikuwa najisikia saa 7 za usiku. Nikiamka sikuwa napata usingizi anymore. And funny enough, when I wake up, sikuwa naweza kulala kwa bed tena. Beside our bed there is a mat, and I would sleep on the mat. I feel I don't want to sleep on the bed. I just want to sleep on the floor. And even if I try to force myself to sleep on the bed, singeweza. And then I had increased heartbeat. My heart was beating so loud. Hadi nikishika hivi nasikia tu I was really scared. I was really scared because I really didn't know how it would end. And funny enough, there's a friend of mine. She's a friend of mine, though we were not that close, but she's a friend of mine who happened to pass on the same week. And that really added to my fear. You know, when it comes to giving birth, it's a matter of life and death. Because you can either make it or not make it. That's the reality. So I didn't know which side I would fall in. And I was really so scared. Despite the fact we trusted God and we had really prayed over the matter, I was really somehow scared. And I remember nikiamka hiyo usiku saa 7 nilikuwa naeka ngoma tunasikiza. And I would sleep when my hand is on my chest, just like this. Yani nasikiza tu roho yangu tu hivi. Neka just put on some music and listen to it. And I didn't want to listen to spiritual music. I wanted to listen to music that doesn't have anything to do with, spirituality. I just wanted to listen to something that has to do with love, something that has to do with life, but not something that is scary. Especially if I listened to something like worship, I'd feel like, yani nasikia ni kama it's taking me closer to God, which I wasn't ready to go closer to God. So I would opt to just listen to bongo music, and I would listen to that music, add it to a place where I would fall asleep at around 4 or 5. So that whole week, what triggered my anxiety is there's a hospital we were supposed to go for my delivery. And when we went for the last clinic, they told us, my baby, the scan is reading 34, maximum 35 weeks. And at that point, I was 38 weeks, headed to 39 weeks. The second thing they tell us is that I don't have enough water, which means I might not have the strength or enough, I would not be able to push my baby. As in, naweza push, yes, but maybe ningechokea katikati because I don't have enough water to push the baby. So possibility was I would go for a CS. And they had said, if I'm not induced before my EDD, I would directly go for a CS. So the option was for me to go for an induction. The option was for me to go for an induction. When was my EDD? My EDD was 21st of February. And now we are talking about around 5th, 6th, around that there. Around 7th. Let's say around 7th Feb. It was on a Monday. Around on a Monday there. So when they tell us that, I really got so scared. That really added to my fear. Now, if I'm going to for a CS, going for an induction, anyway, this is life and death. This is now life and death. And when they told me that you would push but maybe lack the energy to kumaliza, so now that kept on playing in my mind. But there's something that my husband told me. Whatever you're told, don't take it in. Usishtuke. But me, I did the vice versa, nilishtuka. And that really got me so anxious. So, I don't know what really triggered your pre-delivery anxiety and how was it for you and how did you cope with it. So when they told us that, tukaona huku iho si hapana, kwanza acha tuende to another hospital. We opted to go and check, confirm in a public hospital. Nikaenda nikafanyiwa scan. And funny enough, everything came out fine. My water level was okay and my baby was just doing fine, because they had told me since my scan is reading 34, that 4 weeks, and I'm 38, that means that my baby is not growing. But now we did the second scan in another hospital and everything comes out well. So my husband is like, why don't you go on with you come to this hospital and deliver from this hospital. And it was nice because actually my first visit there, the doctor I met was very kind to me. He really helped me a lot. So but something about the hospital was when I entered the hospital, even before I saw that doctor, the first thing I saw, people, there were a lot of people because basically it's a public hospital. There were a lot of women, they were laboring, and I really cried. I just, machozi ilijitoka, and I felt so much fear within me. But I didn't tell my husband, I didn't tell him. I just encouraged myself, and I'm like, since I was in another hospital and things didn't go as well, let me just opt in, let me just encourage myself and stay here. So I encouraged myself, and I'm like, if these women can labor and everything is okay, why not? Why not me? But somehow I was really feeling scared. So the second time we went there, I felt extremely scared. I felt my heart was not at peace. I felt like if my husband leaves me there, I'm gonna die. I felt like nobody would be there to take care of me in case I need anything. Because uko, if you've been in a public hospital, you know how it is. Like doctors or nurses are not there just to keep asking you how far, how you need or checking on you all the time. So I was like, hey, hapana, huku mimi roho yangu ilikataa. But I didn't tell my husband roho yangu imekataa. I just told him, let's just push through with it. So the last day, my labor started on a Thursday that week. Funny enough. Remember, I had been told previously that I might not get labor unless I'm induced. And if I don't get induced before 21st, I'll have to go definitely for CS. So on Thursday, I start feeling some pain. And on the abdomen, I started feeling some pain. And I talk with my friend, her name is Anne, and I tell her, I'm feeling some pain. And she's like, maybe it's forced labor, just give yourself some time. That was on a Thursday night. On a Friday, nikakaa na hiyo labor yote, mchana yote, actually went to Banana and came back. Usiku kauchungu kakazidi, and I'm like, hiyo asubuhi venye sasa niliamka saa 2 and I tell her, hey, and I think sijui kama ni forced labor juu since jana imekuwa ikiendelea inaendelea ikikuwa intense, and she's like, I think you're in labor, but first don't go to the hospital immediately, just give yourself time. Funny enough, hatujaamua hosi yenye tunaenda, na ile hosi tumeamua tunaenda, I'm not convinced that that's where I want to go. I feel completely scared na roho yangu imekataa kwenda huko. So she tells me, download this app and count the contractions. When you get a contraction intervals of 5 minutes for at least 2 hours, then you can go to the hospital. So nimekaa Friday yote, nimekaa Friday usiku, Saturday imefika, and the pain is coming, but as in, okay, inaendelea ikikuwa, but sio ile ati intense. So Friday yote, Saturday yote nimeshinda, asubuhi nimeshinda home, just doing some calls. Actually nilifanya kazi, hey my friend, nilifanya kazi, and then afternoon there's somewhere you were supposed to go with my husband. We went with my husband up to around 8 jioni, usiku in short. And my husband is like, okay, acha juu hii uchungu inaenda ikiongezeka, why don't you go by to the hospital uangaliliwe kama uko sawa, ama ni labor ya ukweli, ama you need to be admitted, or just go and check. And then we just got into a vehicle and hadi hospitali. Once I got to the hospital, my heart ilikataa na ikakataa. I felt completely scared. I felt no. I felt hapana. Do you think okay, was it, I don't know whether it was really triggered by the anxiety I was having, or there was something beyond that, because I was really feeling so scared. I felt like if my husband gonna leave me there, then I'm gonna die. For some reasons I felt like something like that. So mimi nikasema, hey, mimi I'm not gonna die here, let me go home and give birth from my place. Yeah, no. So what I did, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my husband, by the way, for this. Although I told him later. What happened is this. I went. Regardless, my heart ilikuwa inakataa. But since I didn't want to go to a private hospital because of them saying, I was like trying to convince my heart. But no matter how much I'm trying to convince it, imekataa na imekataa na imekataa. There's this conscience, right? Inakataa na inakataa na inakataa. So I went and saw the doctor, another doctor. I met another doctor, and akaniambia, give me your clinic card. My clinic card was at home. So I went out because hata huwezi ingia na bwanako huko. I went out and told him, you know, ameniitisha clinic card. Na akasema acha niende, and then I come with it. Akamwambia ni sawa. So before he came with the card, I sat down and I asked myself, why do I feel so scared? Why do I really want to be in this place? And after some time, my heart tells me, no. Tears just started rolling down, and I'm like, apana. I feel so scared. I felt completely, extremely scared. So I went out. I decided, no, I'm not going to give birth from this place. I I went out and I called my husband and I'm like, hey babe, niaje, Doki nimeona Doki hata ameniambia it's not that serious. I just come home, if ikiendelea kukua intense I come back. Ameniambia niko sawa, and he's like, amekwambia uko sawa? Sawa basi come home. Actually, let me send someone to come and pick you ukuje. That's what he did. Kakatuma mtu. My mom, had been sharing with my mom your pain yenye nasikia, and my mom was like, ensure that tumeenda hosi. So when my mom calls, hadi niko hapo kwa gate nimetoka. Venye nilitoka, huyo watchman akaniuliza, were you not supposed to be admitted? Like, ameniambia niko sawa. Wameniambia niko sawa, niende kwanza nigoje uchungu iendelee alafu nirudi. Kaniambia ni sawa. So my mom calls and she's like, umeenda hosi? And I'm like, tumeenda lakini Doki ameniambia it's not that intense. I just go home nijisikize, ikiendelea kukua mingi nimwambie nirudi sasa hosi. Nasema okay, ni sawa. At that point, my mom had even started coming. Venye tulimwambia tunaenda hosi, alikuwa ashaanza kukam. She doesn't stay that far. So she was already coming. So venye nilimwambia hivyo, akasema ni sawa. After some minutes venye nimefika home, I'm almost home, she calls again. And she's like, I'm so. That's why she calls me. So uko sure Doki amekwambia hivyo? And I'm like, yes, ameniambia niende home and then uchungu ikizidi naweza rudi. I don't want to tell her my heart doesn't want to go to that hospital. Plus, if they ask me which hospital do you want to go, sina. Do you want to go to the hospital that you were in? Or you're doing your clinic? Sitaki huko. Because for one, they had already put in fear in me. Which hospital do you want to go? I don't know. The only thing that I know, I'm scared. That's all. So my mom asks me, are you sure even though Doki amekwambia? And I'm like, Mom, I don't want to go to that hospital. And she's like, no, go menyaga. And she's like, nakuja sai. So when she came, we went to another hospital. We went to check out another hospital. And then for some reasons, I didn't like that hospital. Yeah, I'm in labor and I'm here choosing the hospital, which I feel I'm comfortable. Then we go to another hospital. And venye nilienda huko, for some reasons, I felt peace. I really felt so much peace. I felt like I was safe. I don't know, I really felt I was safe. And that brings us to the question, does the hospital that you go to really matter? The one I went to was a private hospital. The last hospital I went to was a private hospital. Let me just salute them, St. Andrew's hospital. It's in Dandora. It's such a nice hospital. They really have good services, and they really took care of me well, and my baby, of course. So we went to the second hospital, and I felt so much peace. And when I went to there, when I went there, they just told me, you know, you are in labor. You are in labor, we'll just admit you. And then I was admitted. Bwanangu hata alikuwa shabeba nguo, so alibeba tu nguo kwenye tutapata hosi yenye nitajisikia niko sawa nayo tuadmitiwe huko. So I don't know how, that was just part of the basics. I haven't even gone to the labor. So in the next video, I'm going to share with you how the labor and delivery was. But today I wanted us to talk about these bits. Do you think the hospital that you go to is really important? Because I don't know why either ni machines zao zilikuwa na shida, or maybe they had their own reasons. Why would they tell me that that my baby is not growing, I don't have enough water, but when I go to another hospital, they tell me I'm doing just fine and my baby is just fine? Do you think public or private hospitals? The reason why I quoted is because I delivered in a private hospital, and the second hospital I went to was very okay. And actually they didn't induce me. They told me, you know, you have already started labor, because I had already been told unless you're induced you can't have normal labor, like your labor can't come out automatically. And they tell now the hospital that I ended up in, they tell me your labor have already started, we won't induce you for now, just labor and then we'll see how it goes. And they gave me the opportunity to labor. So do you think the hospital that you go to really matter? Which hospital? Wewe ulienda hosi gani? How was the experience? Did you have hizo pre-delivery anxiety? How did you deal with it? Personally, my anxiety zilisha the moment I landed in this the hospital that I delivered from. Ilisha na zikaisha. The fear I had ilisha. I felt peace. I just felt so much peace within me. So guys, how was your experience? And just share in your comments, in the comments section, and I really appreciate hearing from you. So in the next video, I'm gonna tell you from being admitted, how was it? Bye for now. My name is Wangeri Muthoni, and should I subscribe?